Good afternoon, fellow classmates. Today on Channel 350, we would like to take some time to mention Charles Fenton Mercer, a Virginia attorney and congressman who hailed from our very own Loudoun County. Mercer was one of the founding members of the American Colonization Society, which helped to relocate thousands of freed African Americans to the African colony of Liberia. Here to explain a little bit more about this, my co-host.
1916, the American Colonization Society, typically attributed to the Reverend Robert Finley, was founded after the suggestions of Mr. Mercer to support emigration to Africa drew the attention of Reverend Finley, who endorsed the idea. At a meeting at the Davis Hotel in Washington, D.C. in December of 1816, this society was formally founded. Some of the present attendees included some very prominent members of politics, such as Daniel Webster, Henry Clay, future President Andrew Jackson, and the national anthem writer Francis Scott Key.
The society managed to gain support from all over, ranging from abolitionists to slaveholders. People had their own reasons to support the colonization effort. Some of the members of this group wanted to give better opportunity to the African Americans who had already been freed and give them a fresh start in Africa where they would believe they would be free from racial discrimination. They were people who generally wanted to put an end to slavery, others who wanted to get rid of all free blacks for a less pure reason. These people wanted to maintain slavery in the U.S., but do away with free blacks. Some believed that free blacks would steal jobs and wages from whites. Some wanted to prevent the issue of interracial marriages. There was a belief also that free blacks were troublesome and would prove damaging to the Union. Reverend Finley, the society's founder, was part of the latter group of people who envisioned colonization as a proper solution to growing racial tensions within the United States.
The society managed colonization by purchasing and subsequently freeing slaves and paying for their passage to Liberia. On the first voyage to Liberia aboard the Elizabeth, a group of immigrants were sent to the west coast of Africa, where most of them died from yellow fever. 2 years later, they established a colony which is now known as Liberia. Disease was just one of the many obstacles that colonization efforts faced, and in addition to resistance from Native Africans.
President Lincoln was also a significant advocate of the American Colonization Society. Although he was a supporter of abolition, he believed that free blacks and whites could not live alongside each other. He believed that racism would be a major roadblock and believed that colonization was the solution to this problem. Together with Congress, he attempted to build a support system for the American Colonization Society, and they managed to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars to help fund the relocation. His belief on this changed after the Civil War, when he realized that free African Americans were willing to fight for their freedom and for the freedom of the United States. He saw that America.
The society eventually failed and was dissolved in 1964 due to the high cost of relocation and resistance from Native Africans, as well as resistance from abolitionists who criticized the society. Thank you for tuning into Channel 350. We hope you enjoy this segment today in history and remember this significant movement that took place before slaves were officially emancipated.